Hello, this is Tara. This is take number 5, and I'm like a one-take type girl, so I'm very frustrated. I'm going to have some nice outtakes for you. Some nice words that my mother would have been so proud of. So, here's the deal. I have 2 documentaries that I am going to review for you, and they are both on the same subject matter. Bright Lights is the documentary about Debbie Reynolds and her daughter Carrie Fisher. And Wishful Drinking is a documentary that basically just shows you the one-woman show that Carrie toured with that was about her own life in Hollywood. Absolutely hilarious, but let's talk about Bright Lights first and try to keep my brain on track. If I say something that's absolutely wrong and you know it is, just know that I know it is too, but I've said it and I can't retake it, and I'm not sure I know how to edit. There, let's just be real. So, Bright Lights. This film shows such an amazing story, especially from Hollywood, where we have mommy dearests, quite a few of them. And it's a really good documentary. It can be very sad if you get yourself boggled down with the fact that both of these women just died a day after each other. Carrie first, and then I guess Debbie Reynolds just couldn't handle losing her daughter, and she died. She just died. I can understand that, but it's, if you get bogged down with that, you're not going to enjoy this documentary as much as thinking that these people will live forever, because we have so much film about them, and we have so much of their lives that we'll never truly lose them. Carrie and Deborah, they show their houses, and it's funny because they're on the same properties, and they show the first house that they lived in when Carrie was a kid, and my God, it's like it's literally like a library or a museum, and you could tell Carrie just didn't like it. My God, it had 3 pools. It had, she said, 12 little refrigerators in case Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs ever showed up. They'd all have their own. But the house they were living in, the 2 houses, were so quirky. It was hilarious. They had those chairs that you sit in, and they're like a hand. I can't feel. Oh, there. A big chair, but it would be like a hand, and you'd sit on the palm and lay back yes, that was hard to figure out, but I got it going. So they had these funny signs all over their house, and they had it was just really humorous and funny, and I love it. Kind of like my house without the money. So that is a lot about what this film's about, and you just get taken through their lives as if it was a couple of days of watching them, and watching them talk to each other and enjoy each other the way they probably couldn't do when Carrie was younger, because Carrie went through her drinking and her painkiller addiction, and then she found out what she was doing, is she was self-medicating because she found out she was bipolar. Well, at that time it was called manic depression. She was bipolar, and she was trying to cover up these feelings, and that probably wasn't a good time between her and her mom, because her mother was a perfectionist, and drug abuse and mental illness is not perfection at all. But it's what made Carrie such an interesting person and a funny person, and the perfect person to play Leia, because Carrie and Leia are completely opposites. You wouldn't want to get somebody, who was, like that. So Carrie played Leia for all she was worth, and it made her the biggest star, that she could probably achieve, short of finding another movie to star in like that. But she talks about Star Wars. You see all of her, all of her different Star Wars memorabilia, and she goes and has her nails done or whatever it is, just like normal people do. And in the middle of this film, her mother is going to receive the SAG award, honorary. It's an honorary award for lifetime achievement. I was worried. I remember when it was announced that Carrie was going to announce her mother's award and actually give her the award. And I remember thinking, because I didn't know, I didn't know what was what in the yin and yang of their relationship, but I knew that Carrie was bipolar, and I was thinking, wow, Debbie is going to be like so worried about Carrie, when in reality it was completely the other way. Carrie had to orchestrate getting her mother in the car, had to orchestrate getting them to the place where the event was, had to orchestrate getting her on stage. And the whole time she, her mother wanted to hold the award, and she's like, no, because this award is like huge and heavy. And so she held it for her and had it sitting there, and her mother made several kind of stumbles. She said her favorite movie at one point was this one, and then she said, my favorite movie is this, of her own movies is this one. And Carrie just smiled, and the audience smiled, and everybody knew, well, she's older. She's gonna have some moments like that. And it wasn't that Carrie was gonna be all bipolar on them. She was protecting her mother. It was so awesome to see that it's not what I thought it would be at all. It was completely opposite, and that Carrie loved her mother and wanted her to be seen as being the woman who won this award, and not be an old part, the old part of Debbie. Elderly is a sucky word. Old is a sucky word too. Let's vote that nobody gets old or elderly. Let's just say we're moving on. I'm 25 right now, so I'll be 26 in a year. It's okay. So anyways, this is the whole thing. You just see Debbie and her first husband, Eddie, he of the silvery voice. And at one point, Carrie goes up to see her father, Eddie, in San Francisco, where he lives. And he's very this way with the age instead of this way as I am. And I'm sure a lot of you are. So he's very sad. I think I think he has a lot of, if he's thinking at all, I think it's a lot of what ifs, and I should have done this and I should have done that, should have, would have, could have, but he didn't. He made a lot of bad moves that devastated his family, but they came back, and they came back better and stronger. And this Bright Lights is just exactly a beautiful name for this film, and it's a beautiful film. 5 out of 5 stars. And on to Wishful Drinking. This little film documentary is actually Carrie Fisher's one woman show, and it shows her doing her, backstage, getting ready, changing her shoes, and she just goes out on stage. She's got those stretchy pants, leggings. She's got leggings, and they're like capri length, and then she's just got a big shirt, and then she has a pair of slippers on. Her stage is like a living room. It's actually like her living room, which is appropriate. And sometimes she'll just sit down. She takes her shoes off, sticks her feet up under herself, and goes on with her show. And she has the biggest part of the show is when she's doing her Hollywood 101 inbreeding. And it's hilarious because she has this whole board of people, and it's all to show down to see if her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend can get married, because somewhere along the line they could be related. It shows Carrie and Eddie, and then Liz and Michael, and are they related? No, but she tells them they are. But FYI, they're not. So it's I think Carrie at probably her best, because she's playing herself. She's playing herself, and she does most of her talking about Star Wars during that shimmer is me. I'm shiny. She talks the most about Star Wars then. She shows her as a Pez dispenser, and talks about how George Lucas told her, you can't wear a bra under that dress. And she said, why? And he said, because there are no underwear in space. Okay, who knew? I shall be bringing my underwear. May not wear it, but I'll have it with me, that's for damn sure. But the film is just really a good one. Frankly, it could have been a little bit shorter. They could have cut out, I don't know where they would have cut, but maybe, if I find myself shaking my leg like I am right now, then I'm thinking it's ran a little long. But I don't think there's much they could have cut out of it. Maybe the part where they take her away in the ambulance, but I'm not sure. It's kind of a cute part. But that's it. So I've got 2 documentaries: Bright Lights about Carrie Fisher and Debbie Reynolds, and Wishful Drinking about Carrie Fisher. And there's a lot of love between the two of them. There's a lot of interesting film from the golden age of Hollywood, and love. There's a lot of love here between the two of them, and I hate to see anybody die, but they're together, and they're having fun. They're together. Anyways, this is Tara. Got through number 5, okay, huh? And cut.